Hey everyone, it's AngelBlade13. Welcome back to my Kingdom Hearts Final Mix walkthrough. Take a quick look at our stats. At level 63, I equipped the Diamond Dust Keyblade that we just got from the Ice Titan. And this episode we're going to be doing item synthesis. It's a very tedious process. It can sometimes take you a very long time. Sometimes you can get pretty lucky and it'll go fairly quickly. So we've seen throughout the game that when you defeat various Heartless, sometimes they'll drop a red box-like thing. That is a synthesis item. You can't particularly use it for anything else. You could sell it, but its main purpose is that you use it to synthesize other items. Either items or accessories. So, early on in my walkthrough, I mentioned that typically every time I enter a room, I clear it completely of enemies. This is another main reason. So, we have money, experience, and synthesis items. Before you get started on synthesis, make sure that every character that has the Lucky Strike ability has it equipped. Donald and Goofy should have it. In my case, Sora doesn't have it yet because I chose the Dream Sword, so I won't actually get it until level 90, where I'll probably be done with the synthesis. To actually synthesize anything, we have to come here to the Moogle shop and talk to this guy in the corner. These are the various items and accessories that we can synthesize. On the right hand, it shows the material that we need to synthesize these items. Since I haven't synthesized anything yet, this guide is going to be covering the exact number of synthesis material that you need, basically split up by world to synthesize everything at once. Alright, I'm gonna start in Wonderland. You can do this in any order, but I'm gonna go in the order that we went to these worlds and then head back to Traverse Town to finish up. I'm not going to show me getting every single synthesis item because that would be extremely tedious, but I am going to be covering the Final Mix exclusive Heartless in each world, how to deal with them, and the various other items that you need from each world. These are all the synthesis items that we need from Wonderland. You might see repeats later in different worlds. You don't need to get another set of those, so Thunder Shards, if you see those in another world, you don't need to get 12 more. You need a total of 12 Thunder Shards. But some of the other worlds are good alternates for getting those synthesis materials. So, first we're heading to the main bazaar room. If you see a ring of shadows around the table, then you have the correct setup. If not, then just re-enter the room until you get it. You're going to have to get through 3 waves of shadows, which should be no issue for you at this point, and then the Gigas shadows will show up. So here we have the Gigas shadows. They attack exactly the same way as regular shadows would, but if one of them hits you, that one will disappear. The goal is to defeat as many of them as you can without taking a hit. The more you defeat, the higher the chances of getting a Fury Stone will be. If you defeat all 7 without getting hit, then you're guaranteed 2 Fury Stones. And we need 5 of them to move on. Through this run, I've been getting pretty lucky with mystery goos. You can get them from the white mushrooms, rare truffles, or black fungi. You're gonna need a total of 10 mystery goos to synthesize everything. So play their games with them when you can. Try to just do it correctly and hope that you get Miserable Goo. Next, I'm gonna go to Deep Jungle. I'm gonna go for the pink Agaricus first because I have to do a bit more of a setup for it. I'm going to give myself as high of an MP setup as I can, similar to with Phantom. As far as your abilities, Ragnarok is going to be the most important ability, so make sure to equip it. If you have any air combo pluses, make sure you equip them too. For your shortcuts, make sure to have Stop and Arrow. So, when you enter the room, if any enemies attack you, then you don't have the pink Agaricus, so just enter and re-enter until you don't have any like wyverns showing up to attack you right at the start. Then, you're gonna have to find 3 white mushrooms that seem to be frozen in place, as if they're asking you to use the stop spell. You stop on them, they'll give tech points, and they'll drop some MP orbs. I think there's a total of 10 spots that they can show up, so that part's random every time, but you want to get rid of 3 of them. Get the MP that you can, and then the pink Agaricus shows up. What you want to do is cast Eroga on yourself and Stopka on its head. Then you want to use Ragnarok, delay the impact slightly to get more lasers, then do aerial combos until Ragnarok shows up again. When your stop spell wears off, it'll sort of spaz out like this, and based on the number of hits you got on it will determine whether you get a prize or not. You have to do a minimum of 40 hits to even get a chance at 1 Serenity Power. The most that I've gotten on this is 5 in one go. Usually I get 2 or 3 though, so hopefully you don't have to do this too many times. Once you have 7, I got lucky getting 1 extra. Once you have 7, you can move on. In the area where we beat Sabor for the final time, we have the Black Ballade. After you approach it, it's going to split into 5 and mix itself up. You want to just keep track of it and try to hit the correct one. If you hit the correct one, there's a 10% chance it'll drop a lightning stone. If you do it 4 times, then you're guaranteed to get one. Each time you hit the correct one, it'll start going a little bit faster. This is one time that using first-person mode is actually pretty helpful, so if you're having trouble keeping track of them, go into first-person mode and just sort of keep pausing as quickly as you can, and that can help you out a good deal. So here I got really lucky getting 4 of these in one go. Anyway, you need 5 to move on. Next we go to the palace gates in Agrabah. If you see these 12 pots lined up, then you have the correct setup. If you walk into any of them, 11 of them are going to move and 1 will not. That's the pot scorpion, so you want to destroy all of the ones that move before engaging with the pot scorpion. There's a chance if you destroy all of them, then you'll get an extra mithril stone, and then from defeating this, there's a chance he'll drop a mithril stone. Basically, he just starts shooting out these little poison blobs on the ground. Try to avoid them as best as you can. Eventually, it'll swipe at you with physical attacks. You can time a guard or just have an Eroga up. Either of those should knock it on its back. When it's on its back, you can attack it normally for a few seconds. If you wake it up and defeat it before breaking the other 11 pots, there's about a 20% chance it'll drop the Mithril Stone. If you destroyed all of them, then it goes up to about 35%. For Monstro, there's not a ton of regular Heartless we need to deal with. You probably got this stuff at other places, but these are, again, options if you didn't. Mainly, we just want to get back to the area where we fought the Parasite Cage for the second time. Alright, here we have the Grand Ghost. You can see my physical attacks don't really do anything, and neither does magic. What you actually have to do is use healing items on it. So, using a Mega Elixir will guarantee you get 2 Frost Stones, and there's a chance of getting a third one. So, hopefully it doesn't take you too many attempts. No, you don't really want to use Mega Elixirs, but it gets the job done the fastest. For Atlantica, we don't have a Final Mix exclusive Heartless, but we need to come and get Frost Gems and Thunder Gems. Not a quick way to do this, you just gotta fight Sea Neons, Sheltering Zones, Aqua Tanks, and Screwdrivers until you have enough. This one is one of the more tedious ones to do. Take the time to fight the Dark Balls that you see as well. A good deal show up in this world. There is a chance that they'll drop Lucid Crystals, which we're gonna need a total of 9. In Halloweentown, we want to head back to where we fought Oogie Boogie's house, and we're going to be fighting the Chimera. No, not that kind of Chimera. Anyway, when you jump into the room, a single White Knight should show up right where you are, and if several other waves of White Knights show up, then you have the correct setup. Here's the Chimera. It has 2 different sets of health bars. One is sort of like an armor, and then it has its real health bar. Once you get through its armor, it's going to sort of crouch down and shoot off these red, green, and yellow little orbs. You want to stop attacking it, make sure you have an Aroga cast, and try to deflect those back at it. The more of the orbs you're able to deflect, the higher the chances of you getting the Blazing Stone will be. After you deflect enough orbs or do enough damage the normal way, it'll get back up and the fight will continue as in the beginning. Occasionally, he'll start summoning in gargoyles or White Knights, so you can deal with them if you want. There's a chance they'll drop the synth materials that you need from them as well.
Come on!
In Neverland, we have this Heartless called the Jet Balloon. You want to constantly have arrow up and you stop on it and then hit it when you can. You want to try not to defeat it over water, because if you do, it might drop the prize. Oh my god, this is so annoying. Okay, so I ended up sort of breaking my PlayStation, had to get a new one and had to redo everything to get back to this point. Anyway, when you get ready to fight the Jet Balloon, make sure that everybody has the Treasure Magnet ability, and still do your best to try to defeat the thing over the ship. So if you don't grab the prize, then it just drops it on the ship and you can just pick it up like normally. Now I'm going to show me doing it a little bit better. So you want to keep an Agaricus up the whole time if you can. When it shoots the screwdrivers at you, then it should deflect it back at him, or at least just protect you. Use stop, hit it as many times as you can before it tries to run away, and hopefully you get the dazzling stones. In Hollow Bastion, we can actually head to either of the two rooms that we fought Riku in, and they should give us most of the different synth materials that we need. After dealing with a couple waves of enemies, the stealth soldiers should show up. They're effectively an enhanced version of the regular soldiers. Using stop and Agaricus should sort of get the job done on them, and you get the energy stone after beating them, hopefully. At End of the World, you can get everything you need in the room right before the final rest. These enemies here are Neoshadows. They're gonna start off by spinning in the air and sort of darting towards you. After that, you can use stop and attempt to just use some physical attacks until stop runs out. Eventually, they'll sort of start hopping out of the ground like that. Still want to just quickly defeat them as fast as you can. Using stop really helps a lot, as with most of these Final Mix exclusive enemies. Once you're down to one left, it'll sort of start trying to summon other ones from these other portals there. Hopefully, they drop the Stormy Stone when you defeat the last one. Basically, just keep re-entering this room. The Angel Stars and Invisibles sometimes drop the Gales that you need, and the Neoshadows will drop more of the Stormy Stones. Now, back in Traverse Town, I'm gonna put fire and stop in my shortcuts. Fire should be your primary, stop is if you mess something up or if you just get really unlucky. So, the Sniperwild is here. You want to head to this side of the room. I'm gonna use stop and just do a quick attack on it for this time. But we want to stand over here, lock onto the Sniperwild, jump and use fire on it, and if you hit, it should jump over towards you. As we can see, and you want to defeat it before it can really see you, in essence. Hitting it with the fire doesn't automatically let it see you, so still just defeat it quickly. If you're at a pretty high level, one combo should be enough to finish it off. When there's just one of them, you can typically use a physical attack and just defeat it. It's always going to start off with 1, then it's going to do 2, and then 3 at a time, and then it will reset. So, using fire, again, to make it come over towards you, and use stop to stop it, and then go do one quick combo. As usual, make sure Goofy has MP Gift equipped, and have him set to using his support techniques constantly. If any of them see you, then immediately use stop if you can. So every time you defeat the 6th Power Wild, there's a chance that it'll drop the Power Stone. You need a total of 5, so just keep doing this until you get enough, or until you get caught.
Fire! Here!
So that one saw me, so I have to leave. If they start spawning in like this, they'll just spawn in infinitely. You can defeat them if you want, but it won't really do anything, so you just have to leave the room and try again with the Sniperwild from the beginning. Once you got enough power stones, the Gizmo shop is a really good spot. It has a good deal of all the different types of enemies that drop the synth material that we need. So head through there a couple times and defeat all the enemies, and basically just walk around every area in Traverse Town, and you should get the rest of the stuff pretty quickly.
Come on! Come on!
Alright, so we've been collecting the dark matter and mithrils throughout this walkthrough. We are still gonna have to synthesize 3 dark matters, however. As for the orichalcums, I can actually buy them here for 5,000 money. After doing all that synthesis, I got a lot of money, so I don't mind spending it on them. I don't feel like waiting the extra hour for the one at the clock tower. Now that we have all the synthesis materials, we're just gonna go synthesize everything at once. You do have to do it sort of in sets, so I have to synthesize those first 6 before I can get access to the next ones. So I'll say again, we have to synthesize 3 dark matters. If you followed this walkthrough, then you have all the material that you need for that and everything else. And there we go. We got Sora's top weapon, Ultima Weapon, and some Final Mix exclusive weapons for Donald and Goofy. While defeating various Heartless, particularly the Wizards and the Defenders, we got the Wizard Relic and Defender Shield for Donald and Goofy. Let's see how many of those I had to defeat in order to get those. Okay, 278 Defenders and 523 Wizards. And we completed the Heartless portion of the journal for getting all the Final Mix exclusive ones. So let's adjust our equipment. Sora now has Ultima Weapon. That just looks so awesome. You can see a little bit of the Dream Sword in there. And Donald and Goofy, we're gonna give them the items we just synthesized. Alright, so the next thing here is the Hades Cup time trial. Unlike before, we do have to do the entire tournament in one go, so I'm going to give myself a good deal of ethers and a couple elixirs. A lot of this run is going to be thunder spam, and then sort of switching to gravity and stop near the end. The characters are very high leveled at this point, so their abilities aren't going to be as much of an issue. Again, sort of just play around with abilities that you like, or abilities that you want to try out. give them a couple Mega Ethers just for safety, and you should be good. Again, I'm not going to show every fight in this tournament. I think I'm actually just going to stick to the boss fights only, because we've already done all these fights twice. And I'm sort of just messing around with abilities now, but no need to really overthink this part. As sort of a timing guide, try to get each bracket done within 4 minutes, and by bracket I mean beating the boss. So, for the first section, if you defeat the behemoth with more than 16 minutes on the clock, you're good. For Cerberus, more than 12 minutes, and so on like that. So, since we beat this at about 30 levels earlier, you can see that, for the most part, this is gonna be a cinch for you. You still want to sort of still carefully manage your MP to some level, but nothing's gonna be much of an issue for you. You can just see Ultima doing so much damage. Ours still sort of shreds through just about everything. So with the behemoth, you want to sort of finish with more than 16 minutes left. Cerberus, maybe work in stop strategies if you want. Cast a Roga. You know how to beat Cerberus. Try to finish Cerberus off with at least 12 minutes left on the clock.
Come on! Here!
For this, I'm sticking with getting rid of Leon first. That worked a lot better than getting rid of Cloud first.
It's over! No way! Farewell.
So, wasn't able to get the loop on Cloud this time, but not really an issue. Anyway, try to finish them off with 8 minutes left on the clock.
Gotta keep going.
Take that!
Defense!
Take that!
Come on!
Yeah, we got to actually seeing Hades' health bar go down much faster there. Anyway, this shouldn't be much of an issue. Still try to have at least 4 minutes on the clock when you defeat him.
Take that! Take that!
Come on!
Feel the heat!
Heal!
Hey, you having fun yet? That's it!
Come on!
This isn't happening!
We did it!
Alright, I said I'd only do the boss fights, but this is kind of more of a boss fight than the actual end of the Hades cup, so I'll still show this one.
Stop! Force! Come on! Here! Come on!
Alright, and we know how to deal with Rock Titans, so Iroga, ours. It's pretty simple.
This is it! Let's go! Come on! Take that! This is it!
So for completing the time trial, we got the Save the King shields for Goofy, one of his best weapons. I'm gonna give Donald Save the Queen and Goofy Save the King. And that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, like, consider subscribing to the channel, comment, and share with a friend. Thanks again, and see you in the next episode. Bye!